Hi again, this is Andy with Handyman, and we're out today dodging the weather to do a roof inspection. We work with realtors from all over Metro Atlanta, and it never ceases to amaze me when we get out on some of these luxury homes in town. So many contractors, they get out on a property like this and they just start ringing the cash register and telling customers things they don't need. So this homeowner was told that he's got to replace this whole roof. This roof, like anything else, you go to Mercedes and you buy a brand new car and it's under warranty, but if you drive it for 5 years and you don't do any servicing or routine maintenance on it, it's going to crap out and you're going to have to buy a new one, and Mercedes is not going to honor their warranty in the car. Well, we forget about roofs and we forget about the exteriors of our homes all the time. So believe it or not, a roof on a home like this just needs one annual maintenance a year. And there's things when they did this roof that they just didn't do and then properly, and then there's some people that came out and have done some other things since. And so we'll run through it real fast. I'm going to get rained on here in a second, but this style shingle and this manufacturer, this roof is designed to last for up to 40 years, and we've seen them go that long. You're still going to have to do some maintenance. These ridge shingles take a lot of abuse all the way through the property line. You can see it all the way through here. So we would come through and actually overlay these shingles all the way through to maintain what we need to do. Anywhere on the roof where you've got little vents like this here, see how the bottom edge is open, see the shadow underneath it? We like to use a metal-based vent boot, but that's just us. But whoever the installer was, they sealed around the whole back edge, and that's where they go bad. So these vent boots are fine. They just need to be re-nailed and sealed all the way through. These little pop-up vents help get some of the heat out of the attic area. Again, when you look at the bottom edges here, they've never been sealed. They just be nailed and sealed. The shingles, someone said the roof has extensive hail damage. It doesn't. There's a few areas where the shingles are taking a lot of abuse, mostly on this back roof back here. And if we were able to add one more powered vent somewhere in this area, that would be helpful. I just don't know from the inside if that's a possibility or not. This vent here has reached the end of its life and should just be changed out. They've got copper flashings everywhere, which is great. What we like to do every 5 years is seal the shingle edge on either side right here, just so it keeps any moisture from getting in behind. And we like to seal the overlaps in the copper as well with a clear elastomeric sealant. When they did the gutter helmets, and this is just a personal thing with me, this style of roof, we've seen them installed both ways, but the edge of the back edge of the gutter helmet really should be sealed. It should be under the shingles. You're not really able to do it with this style of shingle, and you can see where they did the alternating overlap here. But when you're doing that, you still need to come through and seal that back edge. So we tell everybody in your house, see right there, you're looking for black. Just look for black on your house. It's a shadow, it's a void, it's something that needs your attention, needs to be sealed. And so these are all tweaky kind of things. A lot of the ridge shingles, which is like these areas right here, have just taken more weather and more abuse. So we would recommend that we just overlay all of them here, even this one over the rear porch. Some of them are in better shape than others. I would just go ahead for my time and money and for just the maintenance of the house. I'd do the same thing here, overlay this. Again, you're seeing the vent boots here. This is probably for an air return for HVAC. I'm not really sure what they're doing with these, but see the open edges. So driving rain, any kind of a side rain, it's gonna get up underneath there. It's all little stuff, but unfortunately, whatever contractors come out and told them they need to replace the whole roof are just wrong. You can do it if you want to burn $80,000 to $120,000. Go ahead, God bless you. But if this customer came to me and said, "Hey, Andy, I want you to just go ahead and replace the roof," I would turn the job down because he just doesn't need to do that. But I would like to overlay all these ridge shingles, and you'll see why. I see the cracking through here. And these have already been repaired once. These are original out here. These are a repair. They just get so much heat. This side of the house, on the north side, has a lot of canopies of trees. And I'm thinking that's the north. That's the eastern side over here. I get a little confused when I'm on roofs. In fact, someone who probably flew this thing with a drone drew a schematic somewhere here, a little compass. On the back of both of the chimneys, you see the cracking. We want to seal that. You're looking again for those voids, and so you see the step flashing here. We've got some gaps around it in these areas. Just want to go ahead and seal all that stuff. It's no different than changing the oil on your car. These are all typical maintenance things that this particular owner just hasn't gotten around to or wasn't told he had to do. I'd overlay all these. You get a few areas around where you've got open toe heads, nail heads pop through here that we just seal them up. Most of that is limited to this roof over here for some reason. And I can show you that in a second. There's one area right here where we're going to have to repair some shingles. I think, yeah, right here. One little spot right here. There's another section over this way where some decking is popped. You're not going to be able to see it real well from the video, but it's this area right here to the right of this front peak here. Just a couple ridge shingles on the peak need to be repaired. The peak remains in good condition otherwise, from what we're seeing. Here again, you'll see these ridge shingles. These are replacements, and they just take a lot of abuse up here. So we won't pull these, we'll just overlay them. My guess is these were repaired in the last 3 or 4 years. And see the cracking? They just get so much heat on them. Same thing with these 3 dormers at the right side. Just go ahead and overlay these ridge shingles. Again, you've got a vent boot here that's unsealed. You've got one here. I'm not going to step down to it, but on the other side of this lower roof here, tucked in this corner towards the front of the house, there's a missing shingle that they just sealed with sheet metal. We'll just go ahead and replace, slide a shingle underneath that. Same thing here, see the split? So it's just getting to the point where if you go ahead and tweak these things, you'll be in great shape on the roof. We like to, it's just us. Any of these flashings, we like to seal the bottom edges just so wind-driven rain isn't getting up underneath here. Anytime you have an open edge like this, 2% of the water gets sucked back up under here with capillary action until it hits something. And yeah, there's underlayment under here and there's felt, but there's always holes in that stuff, and we prefer to go ahead and seal it up. Same thing here, where the rear left corner or rear right, if you're facing from the front, up against this stone wall, we've got a gap in the flashing here that needs to be sealed. There's a few little spots like here in this corner. I'm not going to get down in there, but the back edge of that shingle is wide open, so water's getting in there just a little bit. You know, it's not causing any damage. These ridge shingles here would need to be replaced or overlaid. Same thing here, and same thing here at the back of the chimney. These shingles back here in the rear of the house have taken a little more abuse, but as you look across the field, overall, this roof, you're looking at another 15 to 20 years. We go ahead and make the roof repairs on it. We'll guarantee it to be leak-free for 3 years. We'll come back and do what we need to do. Obviously, if a tree limb hits it, you know, that's not really our issue, but we'll still fix it for you. See the split in the shingles right here? They're just starting to go, so we'll fix that. And some of that is when people come out and repair this chimney cap like they have in recent years. They send a ladder here, they step here, and they crunch. You don't step on a ridge. You can see what I'm talking about with the gutter helmet here. See how it's just puckered right here? See the black line all the way through? You know, and it's a 50-50 debate. It depends who you talk to. Some installers will say this is fine. For us, we just like to seal the back edge. I want, the way gutter helmets are supposed to work, if you keep the curved edge clean annually, the water will flow around the edge and into the gutter, and debris will flow to the front. And they actually do work if you clean and maintain them. A lot of people don't, and that tends to be the problem, to be honest. And you can see down in this corner, you see like a huge gap down here. So it's all kind of just basic maintenance type stuff. Here at the chimney, we got a little bit of mortar that's flaked here around the flashing, and we'll just remortar that. And so what happens is our crew comes out. We got 3-4 guys, and we run through the whole roof. I've gone through most of it. I've been up here poking around for an hour or so today. He has cleaned these edges at some point. You can kind of see what starts to build up on the gutter helmets. See right here? If you can see, it's focusing on my finger, but as you look across that dark edge, you'll see some yellow and green in that. That's the pollen from the spring. And so he had them cleaned at some point, but you just want to do it at least once a year. Where you've got returns like here, they've cut a hole here because so much water's coming out of these 2 valleys and everything coming off of this gutter right here over the rear porch. This was clogged, so I went ahead and just cleaned that today while I'm here. And then on these returns back here on the rear porch, if you look closely into this corner, you'll see it's wide open back there. So again, it's all just little stuff that requires a little handy-andyism. You know, it's kind of funny how we do this stuff, but we've always chuckled that for the most part, we're a one-call does all company, and we really are. We'll do about 98% of what you need on a house. If you see through this ridge here, the way they nailed it, this is what we're talking about with exposed nail heads. We just want them sealed, and that was the same thing on that far right, left side of the far right peak. But again, doesn't need a new roof, needs some maintenance done to it, and we'll be happy to do that for him. And hopefully this will be another customer for life for us, because that's really what it is for us. But I'm Andy. We pretty much do everything. It's me and my brother and a team of about 30 guys. I actually work in this business. I'm not just a salesperson. I get tired of saying that, but people think I just ride around a truck all day. If you look at me right now, I'm dressed in work clothes because I just came off a project, come over here and help an area realtor put this thing to bed. But again, me and my brother, we're all over the place. Whatever you need, you can reach in the office, 770-912-2829. Sometimes you can catch me, Andy, directly at 770-265-9017. I'm Andy. See you at the next house. Bye for now.